Basketball fans, welcome back. So, in the last 5 days, the NBA has been crazy. I've seen a lot of people talk about this topic, especially when it comes to like these players just dropping seriously ridiculous scoring. Like you can see yesterday, Luka Doncic he scored 73 points, and he was 3 assists shy from a 70 point triple double. So he had 73. The other day we had Carl Anthony Towns with 62. The other day, in the same day, although it was a loss with Carl Anthony Towns, you saw Joel Embiid come out with his 70 piece. Then we had Devin Booker with his 62 piece game. So these performances were just insane, and it begs the question. I've seen a lot of people make videos talking about this. It begs the question: is the NBA playing defense? Because I've seen in recent times, with the subsequent rule changes, it has made the game, favor offense a lot, and the defense being played by these players is not that much appreciated. I don't think it gets appreciated at all, and for some reason, I feel like this is actually a business move that I'm pretty sure Adam Silver thought about it, especially in those board meetings that they might have, in trying to make the stars, have ridiculous scoring performances just to draw attention to the public and make people invest in this sport. Because if you look at even the rules, I feel like the rules in the NBA change for the star players, and it favors the star players because you're seeing a situation where players have ridiculous scoring. You can see a player just drop 60 points. I've seen in the last 5 days, you're seeing 73 points from Luka Doncic, 70 points from Joel Embiid. You're seeing Devin Booker 62, Carl Anthony Towns 62, and it begs the question: is the NBA using this as a marketing strategy to have people invested in the NBA basketball? Because I have a tendency to agree with that point, because when you look at the viewership numbers, they have not been the best. That's why the NBA introduced the in-season tournament. They put it there so that the players can also be serious, especially when it comes to playing, and also to make this regular season games serious, so that the NBA fans can tune in and watch. So after the in-season tournament came to a close, it was a very exciting run, especially with the money that the NBA was able to make. And I feel like this was something that I don't want to say scripted, but it looks scripted to me. The players, especially when it comes to every single season, the game keeps changing, especially with the significant rule changes that happen. I know the NBA differs from the way FIBA coordinate activities. I've watched a lot of FIBA games, and I've watched a lot of NBA games, and the style of play is very different. And the game is the systematic way the refs look at the game and the officiating is quite different. And this looks more of a marketing strategy and marketing thing for the NBA. I don't think it's quite. I don't think this kind of scoring can happen, especially when it comes to playing, especially in a FIBA game, because we have seen multiple players come out, especially when Team USA is playing. You saw a situation in 2021 where Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum, they were complaining about not getting the calls that they used to get when they were playing in the NBA. You're seeing a comment made by Luka Doncic when he said when he played in the EuroLeague, it was much more difficult to score than in the NBA. So you're seeing the NBA, their basketball has gone back a bit and focused more on the entertainment part and not much of the sport itself. And it has become much more of entertainment and show and exhibition in every single game. And because the NBA is a massively rich league, and the way they have the luxury of money and finances to fund their activities, they are able to curate scenarios that they can be able to use to attract people. So much so you're seeing what is going on right here, because it can even go on off and say you will not see you won't see such scoring, especially when it comes to a FIBA game. You can't see that. The game is quite physical. and you're seeing the game is 40 minutes, is not 48 minutes. So there are a couple of things that change. And the NBA players in particular got exposed, especially when they played in the FIBA World Cup, because the NBA caters to the star players and caters to the people who are generating revenue for them, especially the star players, viewership, endorsement deals. They have a tendency to uh, remove a bit of integrity of the game, and they are able. They not even able. They look towards just changing like the way the game is to suit the player and not like the sport itself. And that's the reason as to why you're seeing all these scoring. In even in this at the time of recording this video, I've come from watching the Lakers versus Warriors. This game happened early in the morning, so I went back and watched the highlights and also watched the full game, and just in retrospect, just to see what happened. And you could see that game went to double overtimes, and you're seeing there's high scoring. So that game ended 135, I think 136, 135, 134, 133, or 134, 133, something like that. But it was 130 points plus on both teams. So you're seeing the rule changes in the NBA are favoring much more of scoring than much more of defense, and that's the reason as to why you're seeing a lot of people scoring like this. I know a lot of people have made videos talking about this. I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about this whole scoring situation, and I feel like the integrity and the legitimacy of this for this NBA league someone keeps falling, especially when it comes to looking at these players. If these players are quote unquote the best players in the world, why is it that they can't replicate the same performance when it comes to playing for their national teams in the FIBA contest? Because FIBA is actually quite different from the NBA. So when Team USA are gearing up towards the Olympics, they have actually had the toughest route, especially when it comes to Olympic games, or even when it comes to the FIBA games, because when we saw how Team USA fared, I know they didn't bring out the best team, they not even the best team, but they didn't bring out their top elite players in there, but you saw how they struggled when it came to zone defense, when it came to boxing out, especially getting them rebounds, things that are fundamental in basketball. They're not practicing when they're playing in the NBA, because the league has made sure that it caters to the player, and that's why you're getting such scoring. I've scoured in the internet and tried to see if any league teams can score like this. I don't think you can ever find any. This only happens in the NBA, and the NBA have a massive reach, so a lot of people have a tendency to exalt and uplift the NBA because they are a massively rich league, and this is a league that has employed a lot of people, and a lot of people have made a lot of money, millions of dollars, talking about the NBA, playing the NBA, and serving the NBA in whatever capacity. But the league has made this game more of a player-based league and cater to the player a lot. And one thing that will come back to haunt them is when they go ahead and play in other nations and get exposed, especially with this upcoming Olympics. We'll look towards seeing if these players can be able to maintain the same level of basketball that they play in the NBA. So I've not seen a lot of people talk about this. I've seen a couple of videos talk about comparing NBA and FIBA, but this scoring is just getting out of control, and I feel like the more this scoring happens, there's a high likelihood that people are going to be numb towards it, and they're not going to appreciate it when it happens. Because let's say, for example, in the case of Russell Westbrook, when he was dropping the triple doubles, when he had his triple doubles for the first time, people were in awe. But when you see it a lot of times when it happens, it kind of reduces the way people look at it. Because Russell Westbrook, for 3 seasons, he averaged a triple double, and he broke the most triple double record against Oscar Robertson. So when we see a lot of such performances, especially when it came to Russell Westbrook, we became numb to it. So if this time he had a 30-point triple double, when he has a 25-point triple double, if he had 20, 20, and 20, we're still not impressed. But when you look at on the other side, when you look at these occurrences, especially these 70-point games, 60-point games, when you see them a lot, even when they happen again, you expect it. You'll be like you. It takes away everything. I'm not saying that it's bad that they're scoring 70. I feel like the NBA should at least look, but take a step back and look at their rules and try to curb the exploits that the players are exploiting, and try to make it more of a sport and not more of like an entertain, not much of entertainment, but try to clamp down on like some exploits that the players are making, because some of them are just ridiculous. And also defense, something that I've really struggled to understand. You're seeing a player just getting wide open three. I know wide open threes can happen, especially when you're playing a game, but not all the time. Not all the time. Like, teams are just backing away from a guy like Luka Doncic when he goes into his shooting form. He's just hitting his jump shots. When he goes to the line, he makes it, which is fine. But a lot of players are just backing off the star players. It's something that I've seen, and I really, it's like they're just allowing them to score like that. It's like when they see a record, they're like, go ahead and just do it. Just go ahead and score more 10 more points, or grab that rebound, or do that, and it kind of waters down like the overall feel for when it really happens organically. And that's the reason as to why NBA all heads really appreciate the 90s. And sometimes, and even in the early 2000s, and in the late 2000s, because sometimes I just look back at those times and I like watching that type of basketball. But this one, it's too common for these guys to have like these insane scoring numbers, and it takes away from like the excitement of the game. But anyway, I'm glad that they're able to score like this. I know Kobe's 81 point game was not seen in the longest while, and he was even like the second after Will Chamberlain's 100 point game. So there's Kobe's 81. So there's that motivation of players to try to beat that record, but at the expense of like changing the way the game is, and at the expense of like just entertainment, and it's not focusing on the sport. I don't feel like it's that constructive. But anyway, just my opinion. So do let me know what you think in the comment section, what you think about this whole situation. I know I've mentioned a lot of things, but drop your comments on there so that I can just look at them and I can just have my I can just draw my own conclusion on that. So yeah, man, I'm out. Peace.